if you see the trend of the economic development for the last 1.5 decade, Rwanda economy is gradually opening to international by a dynamic of bringing in investors from abroad. And when you open your country to investors from abroad, means you are getting people working in from whichever country worldwide. Now, if they are able to get the same quality of service from home country to destination, it is for them a win situation and facilitating for investment. Now, we as BDO Rwanda, operating under BDO network within 1,870 offices across the world, if we are able to offer the same quality, means the client working in from whichever country, once he sees BDO here, he's sure of getting the same quality of service as what he's getting home country. It is for him easy to invest here. That's how we operate here, and luckily being within one global network, we use same tools, we use same training platforms in a way that a local professional will easily be satisfying any requirement worldwide. And sometimes we do joint audit where we audit an entity here, but the mother company or parent company is eventually in Norway. We'll be speaking the same language, using the same tools, and aligning all the procedures all together. That is the benefit of being within an international network. You sit here as Rwandese working in Rwanda, but you're totally aligned to international principles and platforms.
Well, first of all, it's my pleasure to be here. This is my first official visit, given my recent appointment as Global CEO in November 1st, 2022, and chose Africa to be my first stop. So I've had the pleasure of visiting South Africa, Kenya, and now Rwanda, and just delighted to be here at this time. You know, I think when I look at what is transpiring globally, there's a tremendous amount of uncertainty. We've gone through the pandemic. There's still latent effects from the pandemic worldwide. On top of that, there's recessions that are starting to happen globally. Interest rates, cost of food, cost of fuel, all those types of things. So when I look at BDO from a global firm perspective, what we do best, the strong relationships that we have with our clients, we advise our clients on their day-to-day activities, on what they need to do, position themselves for the best possible post-pandemic recovery. So that's what we do. We do that well, and I know we do that in Africa, and specifically I've heard great things already about what we're doing in Rwanda on that front. I would say the talent crisis is the #1 crisis, and we see this across the globe. So why is that? Well, the pandemic had impacts on a lot of countries around the world globally. People changed their behaviors and how they want to work. That certainly happened. Some organizations had difficulties during that time. But what's happened in our business, in our profession, is that there's been a lack of talent. And this is happening globally. So I see huge opportunities for countries like Rwanda, parts of Africa, but other parts of the world, to help provide that supply of talent into our BDO firms across the globe. So for us, it's a tremendous opportunity. The talent crisis is going to continue. The demographics are clear. There's a lot of people that are retiring from business. They're choosing not to work. People are making choices. It's impacting almost every business today. When I hear about the #1 complaint that clients have, it's about talent and access to talent. So we have a role to help clients down that journey. We're looking forward to finding the best possible ways that we can do that.
We've made significant progress globally. We've grown significantly globally. We've got a very strong client base both on the private company side and on the public company side. We deal with the regulators, obviously, on the public company side quite often. On the private company side, it's, again, a big part of the BDO practice is both the private and the public practice. And so we've supported them over the years, whether it's in providing them audits so that they can get lending, they can go out to the capital markets, whether it's to help them with restructuring. There's a lot of things that we do as a profession to really support our clients and to support the business world as well. I think it's the reporting that we do. So ultimately what we provide back is a financial statement with an audit report, talks about the work that we've done. any challenges or issues we may have had. We talk with management, so there's a lot of transparency in the process from when we start the conversation with the client to when we actually provide the final report back to the shareholders or to whoever the client is at the end of the day.
I think the whole key is to be flexible because people react not necessarily in the same way, right? So, and people have been affected at different levels, and people come back with different points. And so I think the ability from an employer's point of view to be flexible, to give people time to come back is the most important thing we can do across the globe.
People want to be part of an organization where they can learn and to develop and grow. And that is a focus of us. We do that here in Rwanda. I know we just had a great conversation about development, training people so they can be the best possible professionals in their career. We think that is a key differentiator that BDO provides globally. So I think those investments are really important. So you have a learning culture at BDO.
So in corporate advisory, we work with our client to make them investment ready. Maybe I'll start on the Economic Recovery Fund. We worked with the government when we were setting up the fund to try to put in place conditions which are easier for the private sector to get access to the fund. We are resilient people in Rwanda. We can see already sign of recovery. You can see also on the statistic, the economic recovery figures are higher than what it was planned for. But we work with the client to make them investment ready. We work with them on the pitch deck financial model, but we're also working to bring in private capital. Last year, there was $1.1 billion invested from abroad in Kenya, and in Rwanda, it was only $4 million. So we work very actively with our client to get them investment ready, get access to that capital, and also working on exit. Because investors, when they bring their money, they need to know how they can get it back. So we are working with our client to get ready to be listed on the stock exchange and give opportunity for exit for all these investors coming from outside.
Now, on audit and tax perspective, we last week issued a memo to the government on what we think government should change on or run reforms on taxation to put Rwanda economy as one of best destination. And we are not only Rwanda competing for FDIs, we are competing with other countries, and whichever favor another country gives attracts people. Now, what we thought about was to look at the fiscal context and see what the government can do, especially to favor those who are recovering from COVID. Of course, government will also have to suffer a little bit because not only the worldwide geopolitics is affecting everyone. Inflation is now double-digit. All in all, government will be suffering on cash inflows, but that's the only way to build the economy is you suffer to invest. You pass a night empty to eat more the following day. That is on the tax perspective. On audit perspective, of course, our role is sitting in between executive to shareholders. We work in transparency, but also we have that extended duty of advisory. Even if you come only for audit, where we see things are not going well, where we see a turnaround is needed, where we see some extra investment or internal efficiency management changes are required, we always support clients into building and growing their own businesses alongside we issuing the opinion. It's not our first role when we do audit to advise clients, but when we see things not going well and when we see there's need for some changes for them to improve, including also recovery plan, we advise them how to do, and most of the case we refer them to our advisory department for any financial recovery support they may need.
I heard very, very positive things about Rwanda. The journey that Rwanda specifically has had over the last number of decades, how they've taken adversity and they've actually created inspiration during that time. So when I heard there was an opportunity to visit Rwanda, and I had talked to my colleagues like Tron Morton, it became a very easy answer to say, yes, I want to come to Rwanda, see our great office, the tremendous growth that our office is experiencing, but also see the country as well.